Good evening and welcome to News Night. I'm Amritpal Singh. Today over the next 1 hour, we'll tell you what happened around the country and the world today. Much has happened. Well, the 4-day vaccination festival, or the Tika Utsav, began from today. The Prime Minister has said that this is the second war against Corona. Remember, Corona, there's a surge in the COVID cases, and together we have to fight this. So if you're eligible, get your vaccines done. That is the message emanating, and also maintain social distancing, wear a mask, indulge in COVID appropriate behavior. That is our only way to fight this pandemic. The government is doing on its bit, playing its role. They've banned the export of Remdesivir injections and drugs from today, given the surge, till the situation stabilizes. So we'll tell you much that and much more over the next 1 hour. Let's begin with the headlines we're tracking at this hour. 4-day vaccination festival of the Tika Utsav underway across the nation from Sunday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Tika Utsav is the beginning of the second major war against Corona, asks to make targets at personal, social and the administrative level for Tika Utsav and diligently make efforts to achieve them. Fight against COVID-19 intensifies. Export of anti-viral drug Remdesivir banned amid surge in cases. India to have 5 more COVID vaccines by October. Sputnik expected to get emergency use nod in 10 days. Union Health Secretary writes letters to 3 states, Chhattisgarh, Punjab and Maharashtra amid surge of COVID cases. Asks the states to enforce plan properly in cantonment zones. Directs Maharashtra to follow COVID protocol amid reports of crowding in hospitals in the state. Campaigning on in full swing for the 5th phase of assembly elections in West Bengal. Amit Shah holds a roadshow in Nadia district's Santipur. TMC and other parties engage in hectic campaigning. Election Commission orders campaigning to close 72 hours prior to the end of campaigning for the 5th phase. Major success for security forces in Jammu and Kashmir. 5 terrorists eliminated in Anantnag and Shopian districts. Search operation going on. Birth anniversary of great social reformer Jyotirao Phule observed across the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Phule remained committed to education and empowerment of women throughout his life. And Haridwar is all set for the second royal bath of Mahakumbh on Monday under the COVID-19 protocols. Processions of 13 akhadas to be carried through highways. No vehicular movement to be allowed on routes. So those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. India continues its fight against COVID-19 pandemic. From Sunday, a 4-day long Tika Utsav, or the vaccine festival, began across the nation. The Utsav is another chapter in the spirited response by India in defeating the deadly virus.
The 4-day-long special vaccination drive, Tika Utsav or Vaccine Festival, started on Sunday across the nation. The vaccine drive began on the birth anniversary of great Indian social reformer Jyotirao Phule. It will culminate on 14th April on the occasion of birth anniversary of Bharat Ratna Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's appeal to the people has evoked enormous response, and they are enthusiastically taking part in the drive to beat the global pandemic.
सभी को वैक्सीन लगानी चाहिए ताकि हम कोविड को हम लोग सेफ रहें और कोविड से सुरक्षित रहे।
अब विश्वास है तभी तो टीका लगाने आए।
लोगों को सबको वैक्सीन लगानी चाहिए। वैक्सीन लगाना अनिवार्य है, जिससे आपकी इम्यूनिटी बढ़ती है। ऐसे वैक्सीन में कोई नुकसान नहीं है। हर एक इंसान को वैक्सीन लगानी चाहिए।
India continues to administer highest average doses per day. In terms of number of daily doses administered globally, India remains at the top with an average of 38,34,574 doses administered per day. Good news is that India will have 5 more COVID vaccines by October, and Russia's Sputnik vaccine is expected to get emergency use nod soon. This will further increase the pace of vaccination and aid in the fight against COVID pandemic. Government is making efforts to inoculate the maximum number of eligible people, and Tika Utsav is expected to step up the vaccine coverage in the country.
Tika Utsav is being observed across the country. Right now I am in Mumbai, BKC. We know that Maharashtra is one of the leading states in terms of COVID-19 cases, and that's the region, the city particularly Mumbai and also the other pockets of Maharashtra. The administration are trying their hard to ensure that all eligible people get vaccinated.
First, I want to help thank you for Modi ji, and they are take care of our country. We have to take care of ourselves, wear mask, take distancing and everything.
In Uttar Pradesh, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath visited a vaccination center in capital city of Lucknow to inspect preparedness for the Utsav. The state government is running the vaccination drive across 6,000 centers in the state.
कोरोना के खिलाफ देश की इस लड़ाई को विजयी बनाने के लिए टीका उत्सव के कार्यक्रम को बहुत अच्छे ढंग से पूरे प्रदेश के अंदर बढ़ाया जा रहा है। प्रदेश के अंदर आज 6,000 केंद्रों में टीकाकरण का विशेष अभियान चलाया जा रहा है। ये टीकाकरण कोरोना के खिलाफ देश की लड़ाई को मजबूती के साथ आगे बढ़ाने और हर नागरिक को सुरक्षित करने के अभियान का हिस्सा है।
The cumulative number of COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in India has crossed the figure of 10 crores. Cumulatively, 10,15,95,147 vaccine doses have been administered through 15,17,963 sessions. People in large number are reaching the vaccination centers to get inoculated.
This good festival PM Modi has announced. I am grateful to him, and certainly I had my first vaccine. I believe people should come forward to take this vaccine, and this will definitely help people and their life also.
Like other parts of the country, people in Bihar too are enthusiastically taking part in the Tika Utsav. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has urged the people to get themselves vaccinated in order to contain the pandemic. More than 47 lakh people have been vaccinated in Bihar so far. Bureau Report, DD India.
And the Prime Minister has made a fervent appeal to all the countrymen to make the Tika Utsav a success in the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. In a detailed statement written on his website, narendramodi.in, and shared by the Prime Minister on his Twitter account, the Prime Minister said, "This festival is the beginning of another major war against corona." He said, "We have to lay a special emphasis on personal hygiene as well as social hygiene." The Prime Minister further put special emphasis on 4 things. He said we must remember these 4 things. Each one, vaccinate one. That is, help those who are less educated or the elderly or those who cannot go and get vaccinated themselves. Each one, treat one. Okay, so the other thing he said is each one, treat one. That is, help people who do not have the means or do not know about the facilities available for vaccination. The Prime Minister also said each one, save one. That is, the emphasis should be that I should wear a mask, and in this way I save myself and I save the lives of others. And the 4th important thing that the Prime Minister said, in the event of someone contracting corona, the people of the society should lead in creation of micro-containment zones. Family members and people of the society should create a micro-containment zone wherever corona positive case has been reported. In a country with a dense population like India, micro-containment zone is also an important way to fight corona. And the Prime Minister also put emphasis on preventing the wastage of vaccines. At the same time, the society and administration have to make every effort to get vaccines administered to the eligible people. He said we have to ensure that not a single vaccine is lost. We have to move towards zero vaccine waste. In the meantime, the Prime Minister said, we have to move towards optimum utilization of the country's vaccination capacity. This is also a way to increase our capacity. This is what the Prime Minister said. And the Prime Minister wrapped up his message with a call to fight the surge in the pandemic unitedly. He said our success will also be determined by our awareness of the micro-containment zone. Our success will be determined not to leave the house when there is no need. Our success will be decided that those who are eligible for vaccine are vaccinated. Our success will also depend on whether we wear masks and follow other rules. In these 4 days, the Prime Minister said, we have to make every effort to achieve our goals at the individual level, at the society level, and at the administration level. He said, I'm confident that we will once again be able to control COVID with people's participation and discharging our responsibility while remaining alert. Remember, medicine as well as strict adherence to protocols is the only way. This is what the Prime Minister said. So a very important message by the Prime Minister. And to talk about that, I'm joined by Professor Randeep Guleria. He's the Director of AIMS. That brings me to our In Focus tonight. Our In Focus tonight is Tika Utsav intensifying the fight against COVID-19. What you see on your screens are In Focus tonight, Tika Utsav intensifying the fight against COVID-19. To talk about that, I have with me Randeep Guleria, Director AIMS, and also Dr. Raman Gangakhedkar. He is the Dr. C.G. Pandit National Chair of the ICMR. Both gentlemen, many thanks for joining me on the show. First to you, Dr. Guleria, the Prime Minister's important message, 4 points. He said making the vaccination, reaching vaccination to the people who are eligible is very important, but also to ensure that no vaccine is wasted in the country. Also, he stressed once again on the importance of adhering to COVID protocols, be it wearing a mask, be it maintaining social distancing. So why the need for reiterating this message time and again?
I think these are very, very important messages, and as we are seeing a huge surge in the number of cases, they become all the more important. The reason why it is important to reiterate the message of COVID-appropriate behavior is that what we've noticed since January, February, that there has been a little bit of slackness as far as this behavior is concerned. We see crowds forming, we see people not wearing masks, and this has actually led to increased surge in the cases, the spread of the virus, and this is causing a huge cause of concern. Also, vaccination is important, and we know that we have the elderly and the high-risk group who need to be vaccinated first, those above the age of 45. But in many areas, especially in rural India, there are people who want to be vaccinated but are not tech savvy, or they are not able to come to the vaccination site. And therefore, the Prime Minister actually really put this forward that we should reach out to help all those who are on the priority list. And we should make it a point that we get them to the vaccination site, help them to get themselves vaccinated so that we can get more and more people vaccinated. This will help in decreasing our mortality, saving lives, and also breaking the chain of transmission and thereby decreasing the number of cases. So I think both vaccination, aggressive COVID-appropriate behavior are very important now when we're seeing this new surge in the number of cases with the new spike happening all over the country.
Okay. Dr. Gangakhedkar, while the Prime Minister stresses on the need for vaccination, there were concerns in some quarters, people about the efficacy of the vaccine, should they go in for the vaccine, but now there seems to be a new imbalance emerging. Some states are saying they are in shortage of the vaccine. Please clear the air on this. Are there enough vaccines in the country for people to get vaccinated?
I think if you actually look at the vaccine production that is happening today in India and the number of doses that we are consuming, you will see a difference that production continues to be higher compared to the consumption that we have. So essentially, there should be no reason that the government cannot procure these vaccines. Those issues perhaps are non-existent. It is also important for us to understand that if we start discussing such issues on TV, perhaps it sends a wrong message to everybody. You know, those who watch TV perhaps also may start thinking at that juncture that if I go to the vaccination site, I may not find that the vaccine would be available because there is on-site registration as a process. And then they would take a decision, why should I go when I am hearing on the TV that the dosages are not available. I think what we need is a coherent policy where in the public discourse has to be in a different mode altogether. All of us, you know, everybody wants welfare of our population. In those cases, we may avoid these kinds of discussions that there could be shortages. Shortages may occur in a supply chain issue, but to highlight them and keep on discussing on those issues.
Dr. Ganga Khedkar, may I stop you here? Our purpose of bringing up this is that we clear the air on this. If there is any confusion about shortages of vaccine, you at the ICMR, when you speak, you send a message to the country. So please clear the air so that people get a clear message of what the real situation is like.
No, currently, as I said earlier, we are producing more vaccines than what we are consuming. There is no reason to worry that vaccines shortage is there or is likely to arise in near future.
Okay. All right. Dr. Guleria, the Prime Minister also makes a very important point where he says that, we should, in the event of somebody contracting corona, people in society should lead to creation of micro-containment zones. So basically, what we had earlier put it on the administration, wait for our local bodies or the state government or wherever we live for authorities to come down and tell us, well, this is a containment zone, you cannot step out. He's put the ball in the court of the people and say, come, make it a participative effort where unless you participate, we cannot defeat this pandemic. Become the government yourself, become the containers of this virus yourself.
Correct. And I think that's a very important message. I have been saying that to win the war against COVID-19, we need science, but along with science, we need humanities also. And what I mean by that is that you need to have people's participation. You need to have people who are policymakers, people who can influence the general public, but also people who are at a ground level. It could be the local administration of a colony. It could be the people at a district level, the village panchayat. All of them have to feel ownership in and feel a responsibility in getting out of this pandemic. And to do that, they have to really take the ownership of making sure that anyone who has symptoms which could be suggestive of COVID, they encourage him and make sure that he gets himself tested. All his close contacts are isolated, tested, quarantined, and they are also treated. And depending upon the area, a containment zone is created, which is followed strictly. The administration can only help in maintaining a containment zone. But the activities of the containment zone in making sure that people don't go out of the containment zone, all the food supplies, milk, water is provided in that zone, and everyone is tested, is the responsibility not only of the administration, but of each citizen. And that is why there has to be citizen participation. Bhagyadari has to be there. And with that only will this pandemic be won, because this is a fight which is at a citizen level rather than at a hospital level.
Okay. Dr. Ganga Khedkar, today as the Tika Utsav has kicked off, it will be on for the next 4 days. The idea is, of course, to motivate people to get vaccinated. What is the message that you want to send across over the next 4 days, those eligible should go out and get vaccinated. Why should they get vaccinated? Of course, I mean, the stated purpose would be that you would be safe, but there are concerns in people that how long will the vaccine last? Will it really be effective? Well, there are reports about people getting contracting COVID even after getting vaccinated. Do we just get, are we just safe for 8 months or 6 months? What message would you want to send across?
Yeah, I think all concerns apart, when the virus is spreading so rapidly as we are seeing in second wave, knowing fully well that the virus can perhaps have adverse outcome that may follow among people who are more than 45 years of age, what alternative do we have? We need to remember that we may not know how long the protection will last, but we know that there is protection that would perhaps ensure that you would survive if you actually acquire COVID infection. We should actually look at one issue that this is one tool which is available to us. And when we talk of this particular tool, we should never forget whether we have received vaccine, whether we have not received vaccine, the mask, the other measures related to COVID appropriate behavior must be rigorously followed. Everybody promotes that particular measure within their household, within their own communities, within their friends as much as possible. Unless we become opinion leaders for our own small family or even those who know you and try to change the way people are behaving, we will never be doing the thing responsibly then and ensuring that we would be able to control this outbreak rapidly.
All right. So while we may not be very clear on how long are we safe in terms of the vaccination, how long does it keep us safe, it's being widely said that at least you're safe for 6 to 8 months, but some safety is better than no safety. That's what Ganga Khetkar is saying. Dr. Guleria, while Dr. Ganga Khetkar makes that point, I want you to talk about, we have 2 vaccines available in India right now, Covaxin and Covishield. Covaxin, the difference between the first shot and the second dose should be 28 days. In the other case, the Covishield, the government says now 6 to 8 weeks. Does this have to be strictly followed? Say, can somebody in the case of Covaxin, is it effective enough? Say somebody misses the dosage, goes to say 5 weeks, or in Covishield gets the second shot after 9 weeks, or does it have to be strictly followed?
No, it does not have to be strictly followed. Even for Covaxin, the range is there from 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
So the minimum is 4 weeks. You can extend it up to 6 weeks as far as Covaxin is concerned. But we encourage people to take it as early as possible after the 4th week so that they get both the shots, and after the 2 weeks they get enough antibodies so that they are protected. For Covishield, because based on the data which came out and which was also then approved by WHO, although the study was of a small size and there was a lot of statistical analysis done, but that tended to show that if you were to delay the second shot by at least 6 to 8 weeks, then you had the antibody response was better. And that is why for Covishield, we are now saying that 6 to 8 weeks, but it doesn't have to be exactly 6 to 8 weeks. If you are busy or you cannot get yourself vaccinated because of some personal or other problems or reasons, then you can get yourself vaccinated even a little later, but the ideal time would be 6 to 8 weeks.
But the efficacy remains. Say
the efficacy will remain, the vaccine will still work, and therefore we need not worry that if you have got your shot a little late because of some personal commitments, that it will not be effective. It will still be effective. The efficacy will remain.
Okay. Dr. Ganga Khetkar, this evening reports came in that India will have 5 more COVID vaccines by October, implying that the government could give emergency approvals to that. And Russia's Sputnik vaccine is expected to get the emergency nod soon, within the next 10 days. Does that mean we'll have a wider array of vaccines? Will they be more effective than the ones available right now? Would people have more choice? Should they wait, or at least of those who are eligible should get themselves vaccinated?
See, I don't see that there could be major differences on the efficacy front with respect to different vaccines that will come. The carry-home message should be, whichever vaccine you are likely to get, please go ahead and get it. Second most important thing that we all need to remember, that taking vaccine is the most prudent step to reduce the adverse impact of this second wave, which is likely to be more on mortality, the number of deaths that would occur. And if we follow stronger measures like lockdown, you might have an impact on industries per se. The only way to avoid it is we have to saturate 45 years plus population with vaccines, and the quickly we do, perhaps we will be in a better position to mitigate that adverse impact that might come because of this second wave per se. To me, 5 different vaccines, people should not think that I would be able to take the most efficient one. I think all of them are equal. We don't need to suspect in terms of its protective efficacy. We should go ahead and take it. The only thing it would mean that the name of that vaccine may change, whatever you are likely to receive, and you would have multiple vaccines which could be provided to large number of people. But let us not wait till that time. Try to ensure that we quickly take the vaccine if you are 45 years plus.
Absolutely. You make a very important point. Well, remember, the virus is not going to wait for the infection to come to you. So take whatever vaccine. There might be slight difference. One may be 80% effective. The other may claim it is 85% effective. But remember, the virus doesn't go on statistics. If it affects you, and one last point that I would want to add here is, remember, if you take your dosage, you might still contract COVID, but what the vaccine will do is it will save you from mortality. That is what we know, that is what the medical community knows for sure, at least in a large majority of cases. That is what studies suggest as of now. Well, that's all the time we have for Dr. Randeep Guleria. Dr. Ganga Khedkar, many thanks for joining us and lending your insights to us. Thank you. And amid a surge in COVID-19 cases in the country, the government on Sunday banned the export of antiviral drug Remdesivir. A government order said the export of Remdesivir injection and Remdesivir active pharmaceutical ingredients or API have been banned till the pandemic situation in the country stabilizes. 1,52,879 cases of new infections were reported from across the country in the past 24 hours. Infections are really rising. Take care of yourself, and the only way to do that is protect yourself by adhering to COVID protocols and get vaccinated if you are eligible. Take a look at this story.
Government on Sunday banned the export of antiviral drug Remdesivir and Remdesivir active pharmaceutical ingredients or API amid rising cases of COVID-19 in the country. A government order to this effect says all domestic manufacturers of Remdesivir have been advised to display on their website details of their stockists or distributors to facilitate access to the drug. 1,52,879 new cases of infections were reported from across the country in the past 24 hours. 10 states including Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu are contributing most to the rise in cases. These 10 states are contributing 80.92% to the national average of infections. With 55,411 new cases in the last 24 hours, Maharashtra is the largest contributing state to the infections in the country. The state has imposed weekend lockdown in many cities.
महाराष्ट्र के मुख्यमंत्री ने राज्य के सभी राजनीतिक दलों को, नेताओं को एक साथ बिठाकर उनसे विचार विनिमय किया है। उनके बाद अब मुख्यमंत्री निर्णय लेंगे। मुख्यमंत्री ने स्पष्ट संकेत दिए हैं कि एक लॉकडाउन की ज़रूरत है।
The situation in neighboring Madhya Pradesh is only a shade better. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan held an all-party meeting to evolve a strategy to deal with the situation. Uttar Pradesh CM Yogi Adityanath also took stock of the evolving situation in the state.
ये कोरोना संक्रमण से निपटने की लड़ाई जनता के सहयोग के बिना नहीं लड़ी जा सकती। सरकार व्यवस्थाएं बना रही है, अस्पतालों में बिस्तरों की संख्या लगातार बढ़ रही है। लॉकडाउन समस्या का समाधान नहीं है और मध्य प्रदेश में लॉकडाउन नहीं है कहीं भी, ना पूरे प्रदेश में लॉकडाउन लगाया जाएगा।
बीमारी में उपचार से महत्वपूर्ण बचाव होता है और कोरोना में जो बचाव के उपाय हैं, 2 गज की दूरी और मास्क जरूरी, इसका पालन हमें अनिवार्य रूप से करना ही होगा और हर व्यक्ति इसका पालन करेगा तो मुझे लगता है कि कोरोना के खिलाफ इस लड़ाई को हम विजयी बनाने में सफल होंगे।
The COVID-19 situation in Delhi is also serious, with 10,732 fresh cases of infection being reported in the last 24 hours. Delhi police has been appealing to people to follow COVID-appropriate behavior.
आप सभी लोगों से निवेदन है, कृपया मास्क पहनें और सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग मेंटेन करें। कोविड-19 प्रिकॉशन मेजर में कोई भी ढिलाई न बरतें। कोविड-19 वायरस से आप भी बचें और दूसरों को भी बचाएं।
Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal also appealed to people not to go out of their homes unless it is urgent and use face masks and sanitizers and maintain social distancing. The silver lining in all this is that 90,584 recoveries were recorded in the last 24 hours, taking the cumulative total of recovered patients to 1,20,81,443. With this, the national recovery rate currently stands at 90.44%. The fatality rate of 1.27% is also one of the lowest in the world. Bureau Report, DD India.
And the Union Health Secretary has written to the states of Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra and Punjab to strictly enforce norms to prevent the spread of coronavirus. He wrote this letter on the basis of feedback from the teams that were dispatched to the states witnessing the surge in COVID cases. The Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, as I said, had written to these states highlighting the areas of concern, including suboptimal containment operations and contact tracing, skewed testing and shortage of health workers. The central team sent to these states reported non-adherence of COVID-19 appropriate behavior in the 50 most affected districts which come from these states, that's Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh and Punjab. The states have been advised to strictly enforce norms to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Out of the 50 districts most affected by COVID-19, 30 are in Maharashtra, 11 in Chhattisgarh and 9 in Punjab. Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan has said that the centre has also taken note of the issues related to the vaccine availability and required action to augment supplies will be taken on the basis of available stocks. And let's now take a look at some other COVID-related developments across the globe.
Many nations are now resorting to placing vast areas under new restrictions, and the phenomena is stretching across continents. Colombia's capital Bogota on Saturday implemented new restrictions, including a 3-day lockdown to restrict a third wave of coronavirus infections. The decision to place additional restrictions follows spurt in coronavirus positive test rates and increasing demand for ICUs. Another Latin American country, Argentina, on Saturday also implemented tightened movements restrictions, including curtailing the leisure industry and blocking non-essential workers from using public transport after the country hit a record number of COVID-19 infections. Last week, night curfew between midnight and 6 a.m. was announced in the country. In South Asia, Bangladesh has decided to extend the ongoing first phase of lockdown till the 13th of April. The week-long lockdown began on April 5th. The move comes at a time where the country is already preparing for the hard lockdown, which is set to start from the 14th of April for 1 week. During the hard lockdown, the ongoing restrictions, including those on inter-district public transport, will continue. Bangladesh is experiencing a sudden rise in COVID-19 cases. The country on Saturday had reported 77 deaths in a single day, taking the toll in the country to 9,661. Another Asian nation, Iran, on Saturday has imposed a 10-day lockdown across most of the country to restrict the spread of a fourth wave of the coronavirus pandemic. Businesses, schools, theatres and sports facilities have been forced to shut and gatherings are banned during the holy fasting month of Ramadan that begins on 14th of April. The struggle against the pandemic continues to put pressure on the health infrastructure across the world. A hospital in Ecuador's capital, Equito, is struggling to cope with the increase in COVID patients. New areas at the hospitals have had to be adapted to treat more patients and military tents have been set out in the parking lot. Ecuador is grappling with a new wave of coronavirus infections that has exceeded the capacity of the Andean nation's public health system. Meanwhile, Facebook Inc. has turned into Menlo Park headquarters to a new vaccination site. On Saturday, the social media giant company welcomed hundreds of local residents to the site, which is being run by a local community health group. And in Holland, the Dutch roller coaster fans who were willing to endure no swabs to get their adrenaline fix were allowed back into a theme park over the weekend experiment to ease prolonged COVID-19 restrictions. Visitors over 12 years old needed to order a ticket online and book a COVID-19 test at a small number of designated locations. A negative test result taken no more than 40 hours prior to admittance had to be presented on a smartphone app at the entrance along with proof of identification. Bureau Report, DD India.
And hectic campaigning is on for the fifth phase of assembly elections in West Bengal. Top leaders hit the road. BJP senior leader Amit Shah held rallies and a roadshow in West Bengal today. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee also campaigned for her party in Bardhaman.
Campaigning is in full swing for the fifth phase of assembly elections in West Bengal. Top leaders of various political parties are crisscrossing the poll-bound constituencies. The political tussle between BJP and TMC now reached to the heartland of West Bengal. Both the parties are accusing each other for the political violence during assembly campaign. Amid all these slugfests, Union Home Minister and BJP leader Amit Shah held roadshow in Shantipur and Ranaghat Dakshin. He accused Trinamool Congress chief Mamata Banerjee of inciting people against the central forces and doing politics of appeasement even over the deceased.
ममता दीदी ने कुछ ही दिन पहले भाषण किया था कि सीआईएफएस सीएपीएफ वाले आए तो उनको घेर लो, उन पर हमला करो। मैं पूछना चाहता हूं ममता दीदी को, एक शार्प सवाल पूछना चाहता हूं कि क्या आपका वो भाषण वो 4 लोगों के मृत्यु के लिए जिम्मेदार नहीं है क्या?
Meanwhile, Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee also held a roadshow in Bardhaman to woo voters in the state. Earlier, she spoke to the family members, those who lost their lives in Kuch Bihar.
What is the job of CISF? Did CISF know how to control the mob?
Election Commission has ordered adjournment of polls at polling station number 126 in Sitalkuchi Assembly constituency of West Bengal amid reports of violence. The poll panel has also ordered that no political leaders to be allowed to enter Kuch Bihar district for 72 hours. Kuch Bihar district comprises of 9 assembly constituencies. The poll panel has also directed ending of poll campaign before 72 hours for the entire fifth phase in the state. Bureau Report, TD India.
And the country today is celebrating the birth anniversary of great leader, pioneer of women's education, philanthropist and author Mahatma Jyotiba Phule. On this occasion, the Prime Minister paid tributes remembering the contribution of Jyotiba Phule. The Vice President too took to Twitter to pay homage to the great leader. Here's a report.
The birth anniversary of great philanthropist Mahatma Jyotiba Phule was celebrated with great reverence across the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi remembered the contribution of social reformer. He tweeted, "A great tribute to thinker, philosopher and writer Mahatma Jyotiba Phule on his birth anniversary. He remained committed to the education and empowerment of women throughout his life. His devotion to social reforms will be a source of inspiration for coming generations." The Vice President of the country, M. Venkaiah Naidu, also remembered the great leader on his birth anniversary and paid tribute to him. He tweeted, "My tribute to the great social reformer and visionary thinker Jyotirao Phule on his birth anniversary today. He was a pioneer of women's education and a crusader against social evils like the caste system and untouchability." Union Minister of Information and Broadcasting Prakash Javadekar tweeted, "A big tribute to the great thinker, philanthropist and author Jyotirao Govindrao Phule ji on his birth anniversary. He opened the country's first women's education school and made a remarkable contribution in ending caste-based biasness and discrimination in the Indian society." Born in the year 1827 in Maharashtra's Satara district and belonging to a backward caste, Phule fought against social discrimination and promoted education among the most deprived communities. He, along with his wife Savitribai Phule, are globally known as pioneers of women's education across India. In order to improve the condition of women and to give them recognition in the society, they started a school in the year 1854. It was the first school in the country which was open for girls. Phule's social activism includes eradication of untouchability and caste system and inclusion of education of women and the Dalits. The great leader, who was also bestowed with the title of Mahatma on 11th May 1888 by another social reformer, Rao Bahadur Vittal Rao Krishnaji Vandekar, breathed last at the age of 63 in Pune on 28th November 1890. News Night Desk, DD India.
And let's now take a look at what else happened in the country in our national roundup.
In Antilia bomb scare, NIA arrests Sachin Wazi's associate API Riaz Qazi for destroying evidence. He's been sent to 5 days NIA custody till 16th of April. The agency has said that Mumbai police officer Riaz had helped Sachin Wazi in Antilia case. The court has further ordered the suspended Mumbai police officer Sachin Wazi to be in NIA custody till 23rd of April. Terrorists responsible for the killing of Army Jawan Mohammad Salim Akhund have been killed in an encounter at Semtan in Bijbihara area of Anantnag district of South Kashmir. The terrorist organization Lashkar-e-Taiba in Bijbihara area near Srinagar shot and killed Havaldar Mohammad Salim Akhund, a soldier of the Territorial Army who went to his home on leave. 3 militants have been killed by security forces so far in an encounter that started yesterday in Jammu and Kashmir's Shopian. Security forces killed a terrorist yesterday. 2 more terrorists were killed in an early morning encounter today. The search operation of security forces is going on in the area. UP's BJP leader Swatantra Dev Singh on Sunday said that the candidature of Sangeeta Sengar, a candidate for the district panchayat member from ward number 22 of Fatehpur Chaurasi, has been revoked. Sangeeta Sengar is the wife of former party MLA and Unnao rape convict Kuldeep Singh Sengar.
And the government has taken various safety measures in view of the COVID-19 pandemic for devotees visiting the Kumbh Mela in Haridwar. A negative report of COVID-19 is mandatory for devotees gathering at the Kumbh Mela in Haridwar. The devotees will get permission to attend the Kumbh Mela only after displaying a negative report for the COVID-19 test. In case you are planning to go to Haridwar for the Kumbh Mela by train to take a holy dip in the Ganga, your registration will be done at the railway station itself. Following that, you will be asked to furnish COVID-19 negative test report. However, your rapid antigen test will be conducted in case you do not have a COVID-19 test report. 2 separate counters have been set up at the railway stations for this purpose. Your test reports will be submitted to you within 15 minutes. If you are found to have COVID-19 symptoms, then you will be directly taken to by ambulances to the quarantine centers set up by the government. Similar arrangements have also been made at bus stands, where the COVID report of every passenger will be checked. In view of the pandemic, a very strict arrangement would be in place for the Amrit Snan to be held from the 12th to the 14th of this month.
रजिस्ट्रेशन अनिवार्य है। रजिस्ट्रेशन में आपको एक अलग से ई पोर्टल है जिसमें 3 तरह के डॉक्यूमेंट, जैसे कि नंबर 1 आपका RT-PCR नेगेटिव टेस्ट 72 आवर्स पहले का, नंबर 2 आपको किसी तरह की अपनी जो ID है, पहचान पत्र है, और नंबर 3 आपका मेडिकल टेस्ट रिपोर्ट। मेडिकल टेस्ट रिपोर्ट इसलिए कि आप में कोई कोमॉर्बिडिटी तो नहीं है या आप में कोई इम्यूनिटी तो कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ नहीं है, उसके लिहाज से इम्पॉर्टेंट है।
A massive fire broke out in near the Bodogi area of New Tiri district in Uttarakhand. Firefighting personnel are working to bring the wildfire under control. Tiri Divisional Forest Officer Coco Rose said that blaze has spread to at least 1 hectare of land. Action will be taken against anyone responsible for initiating the forest fire. And let's take a look at some international news now. Israel's Defense Minister Benny Gantz has pledged to cooperate with the United States on Iran, voicing hope that Israeli security would be safeguarded under any renewed Iranian nuclear deal that Washington reaches. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, who is on a visit to Tel Aviv, told his Israeli counterpart that Washington views the alliance with Israel as central to regional security.
As a major strategic partner for the United States, our bilateral relationship with Israel in particular is central to regional stability and security in the Middle East. During our meeting, I reaffirmed to Minister Gantz our commitment to Israel is enduring and it is ironclad.
All right, in a dramatic development, Jordan's King Abdullah appeared in public on Sunday alongside his half-brother Prince Hamza. This is their first joint appearance since a palace crisis involving the prince rocked the kingdom. The images showed a group of Hashemite royals at the mausoleum where their ancestors are buried on the 100th anniversary since the founding of the kingdom. Jordan is marking 100 years of survival as a resource-poor country in a war-ravaged neighborhood, but the palace crisis and the coronavirus pandemic have overshadowed the celebrations. The government had accused Hamza, a former crown prince who was sidelined as heir to the throne in favor of Abdullah's son Hussein in 2004. Bavarian Premier Markus Söder put himself forward on Sunday to run as a conservative candidate for German Chancellor in September elections and said he would settle the question soon and amicably with his rival, the Christian Democrat chief. Pressure is mounting for a swift decision on whether Söder, the leader of the Christian Social Union, or the CDU's Armin Laschet should stand for the two-party bloc in September 26 elections, making them the candidate to succeed Angela Merkel. Laschet lags Söder in opinion polls, but as the leader of the larger CDU, effectively has first refusal and enjoys the support of some powerful state premiers. With the September elections nearing, conservatives are pressing for a decision on the candidacy to end speculation, which is highlighting divisions. Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan has said that Turkey was working for the peaceful resolution of the conflict between Ukraine and Russia over the Donbass region after talks with his Russian and Ukrainian counterparts on the issue earlier this week. Speaking at a meeting in Istanbul, Erdogan reiterated his call for the resolution of the escalating Donbass crisis. Kiev has raised the alarm over a build-up of Russian forces near the border between Ukraine and Russia and over a rise in violence along the line of contact separating Ukrainian troops and Russia-backed separatists in Donbass. The United States says Russia has amassed more troops on Ukraine's eastern border than at any time since 2014, when it annexed Crimea from Ukraine and backed separatists in Donbass. Well, polls opened as Ecuadorans started to vote in the presidential runoff on Sunday to decide whether to maintain the pro-market policies of the last 4 years or return to socialism of the preceding decade, as the Andean country seeks to revive its stagnant economy. Left-wing economist Andres Arroz won the first round of the election in February, garnering almost 33% of the vote on promises of generous cash handouts and a resumption of the socialist policies of his mentor, former President Rafael Correa. The oil-exporting nation's economy was already weak due to low crude prices when the virus outbreak started. The pandemic has pushed a third of the population into poverty and left 500,000 people unemployed. Well, 4 dead grey whales washed ashore San Francisco Bay Area beaches in 9 days. Experts announced that 2 of the giant aquatic mammals died from ship strikes, and an investigation is underway to know the cause of death of the other 2. Common causes of grey whale deaths include starvation and complications from becoming entangled in deep-sea fishing lines, nets and other equipment. The species is currently not considered endangered, but is protected by the Marine Mammal Protection Act in the United States. The residents of eastern Caribbean island of St. Vincent on Saturday woke up to rumbling noises emanating from the La Soufriere volcano, which erupted a day earlier. A thin layer of ash coated rooftops, cars and roads. After decades of inactivity, the volcano erupted on Friday, spewing dark clouds of ash some 10 kilometers into the air and prompting an evacuation of some residents living nearby. A U.S. Army lieutenant filed a lawsuit against 2 Virginia police officers in federal court over what the court papers say was a violent traffic stop, where officers pointed their guns, knocked him to the ground, pepper sprayed him and threatened to murder him. The suit, filed by Army officer Karen Nazario on April 2nd in the U.S. District Court of Norfolk, Virginia, against Windsor policemen Joe Gutierrez and Daniel Crocker, alleges the violations to his constitutional rights and includes assault, illegal search and illegal detention. The incident, captured on a video, comes at a time of heightened awareness over police arrests of minorities and racial justice in the wake of ongoing televised trial of former Minneapolis policeman Derek Chauvin following the death of George Floyd, a black man who died in police custody last May. Nazario, who is Latino and black, was in uniform and driving his new SUV with a temporary paper tag displayed on the back window on December 5th when he was told to pull over on the U.S. Highway 460 in Windsor, Virginia. During the assault, the suit says Nazario had his hands up, offered no resistance, but was pepper sprayed and violently knocked to the ground and detained. Ultimately, the police chief responded to the scene and Nazario was released without charges, the suit says. NASA has decided to reschedule the Ingenuity Mars helicopter's first experimental flight to no earlier than the 14th of April. The decision is based on data from the Ingenuity Mars helicopter that arrived late Friday night. At the time of high-speed spin test of the rotors on Friday, the command sequence controlling the test ended early due to watchdog timer expiration. This occurred as it was trying to transition the flight computer from pre-flight to flight mode. The space agency said that the helicopter is safe and healthy and communicated its full telemetry set of the Earth. The watchdog times oversees the command sequences and alerts the systems of probable issues. It helps the system to stay safe by not proceeding if any issue is observed and worked as planned. The helicopter team is reviewing telemetry to diagnose and gauge the issue, after which they will reschedule the full speed test. A 3,400-year-old lost city was unveiled in Egypt's Luxor on Saturday. Renowned Egyptologist Zahi Hawass and a team began searching for a mortuary temple near Luxor in September, but within 4 weeks they found mud brick formations in every direction. They unearthed the well-preserved city that had almost complete walls and rooms filled with tools of daily life, along with rings, scraps, color pottery, vessels and mud bricks bearing the seals of Amenhotep's cartouche. Archaeologists say the find is most significant since the discovery of the famous boy king Tutankhamun's tomb. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom jazz drama. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, jazz drama set in the 1920s in Chicago, won 2 awards at the opening of the BAFTA on Saturday. The British Academy of Film and Television Arts ceremony is being held virtually over 2 nights due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, which has prevented the usual star-studded event with a live audience. Saturday's opening mainly looked at the crafts inside the filmmaking and handed out 9 awards. Ma Rainey stars Viola Davis and late Chadwick Boseman. The film also won the prestigious award for costume design and makeup and hair. The main prizes will be announced when director Ang Lee will receive the BAFTA fellowship. And that's it in Newsnight for now. But remember, as we said, that it's very important to follow COVID protocols. So you maintain social distancing, get vaccinated if possible, and most importantly, wear this mask. Wear this mask when you go out or interact with people. Try stepping out of your homes. If you must, try avoid going to crowded places. But if you have to go, wear this mask and stay safe. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.